At Abertay University, we wanted to implement micro-credentials into our first and second year provision, replacing a previous elective 20 credit programme that existed. So we took the opportunity really to focus our first year micro-credentials on student transitions in the first year experience, and really look to create a flexible framework to put some control back into the hands of students. And to address really the foundations of academic and social success. We called these the My Success modules, and essentially they're embedded in all of our undergraduate degree programs, except mental health nursing. And the My Success modules make up 1/6 of a first year degree program at Abertay University. And the way it really works is it's structured so upon pre-arrival of the university, students complete ABE 101, Being Successful at Abertay. This is a module that I personally lead, and all first year students are enrolled onto this transition module. It's really aimed at showing students how universities work, about revealing some of that hidden curriculum. How does a module work? How do you navigate the systems? What does success at university look like for that individual student? We've also got within that a diagnostic tool called the Abertay Discovery Tool. And really that's about students self-assessing their strengths and their areas for development to really create and personalise the focus and action plan for them in order for them to be successful, both academically and socially. So we really focus on the holistic student as part of the My Success modules. On the completion of ABE 101, students ultimately have a bit of an action plan, and they choose 3 options from a suite of 9. And these options cover the different aspects being successful academically and socially. So for example, the options include successful writing, digital skills, referencing, planning your future career, well-being. We've also got a module called Your Student Life, which is delivered by our Students Association. We've also got numbers for everyday life. So whether a student wants to focus on academic writing, referencing and their student life, or whether they want to focus on well-being and numbers and writing, it's completely personal to what the students feel they need within a flexible structure in which we have created. All of these modules are co-delivered with students and our Students Association, which ultimately means that students can provide that authentic peer learning and tell students what it's really like to be an Abertay student and what it's really like to be successful at Abertay. I think the impact of this particular innovation is both institutional and local and personal to the students. I mean, institutionally, the My Success modules was commended as good practice in our quality assurance agency's quality enhancement and standards review, where we were commended for good practice for our work on student transitions, and in particular, the micro-credential approach. Several universities have spoken to us about this particular initiative. Some have implemented and are in the process of implementing similar initiatives as well. What I would also say is this is about building student confidence. So it's pleasing that consistently we are achieving a 96% pass rate across the My Success modules. These modules are pass-fail, but to have 96% is just showing that students can be successful, are displaying those skills to be successful. And so hopefully we are providing them with that confidence. What I would say is that's what then plays out in student feedback. One of my favourite quotes from a student is that they went through a lot of epiphanies throughout their first years and realizations that actually they can do it, and that they understood why we were showing them these skills that they need, the tools, the recipe for success. Interestingly, we're seeing that continue throughout the years, some students referring back to the content which we delivered in first year, and they're actually using that same content in their second, third and fourth year, which is particularly pleasing to see them refer back as a reference point. One of the impact as well for the institution has been the insights that we've been able to gather institutionally from each cohort at the start of each year, which means we can respond quickly to the needs of each cohort, both at programme level and institutional level. That's partly around the systems and processes in which we've implemented through this initiative. So, for example, the Abertay Discovery Tool, where students self-assess their strengths and their areas for growth. In ABE 101, we're able to analyse that data and provide programme level reports and recommendations to implement different things, whether it be the referencing tools, whether it be expectation setting at programme level, to better support the student experience and ultimately student outcomes and retention longer term. The most important thing is institutional buy-in. This was something led by the institution's Senate and Learning and Teaching Committee. There was a desire to implement micro-credentials within the curriculum, and in particular, they then embraced the opportunities that this created around first-year experience and student success and outcomes. One of the particularly lucky things from my perspective, as I was brought in as a lecturer in academic practice, specifically to work on the implementation of the My Success modules. So I think having that dedicated resource to focus on the implementation, to focus on working with all of the teams across the university, particularly academic services and amending a systems processes, working with colleagues on regulations, student communications in particular, especially around recruitment and admissions. So having that point to focus on implementation, I think, is particularly important. The one other thing that I would say is this really is a whole university approach. So all of our optional modules are developed and delivered by different teams across the university. So for example, planning your future career is delivered by our career service. So again, my role has been about supporting both academic and professional service teams to develop credit-bearing provision, which was for some people new concept to sort of understand and gain and develop those skills. But the most important advice that I think I can give is, if you want to implement something similar, it's got to be credit bearing in order to demonstrate the value in which the university places on it. And that's something that Abertay University has done, which has certainly worked. We have demonstrated the value we put on student success by creating that credit bearing space within the curriculum. And I think that's helping students, based on the feedback they're giving us, to actually understand the importance of this within their discipline.